in the AW magazine last month, I think, as one of the Turner's fledgling members of the AW.
What I think.
Yeah. Step up the microphone. Tell us about yourself.
Okay. Tim Shaw, who's the editor of.
Turn it on.
Is it done now? There we go. Yeah, go ahead.
Tim Shaw, who is the editor of the journal, and then the online features, had asked me for information back in January, I think. And as the conference grew nearer and nearer, I was more and more sure that I was going to get the spotlight featured just before the conference. And then I didn't get featured at all. So about 2 weeks after the conference, she wrote that she had held me back and Albert LeCoff back because she wasn't really sure what to do with us because we had done so many things in relation to the organization. So I did just get featured last week, which was really perfect for me because I've been in Grand Rapids 3 weeks. My wife's family is in Chicago, and I didn't want to live with the family. And so it was sort of Grand Rapids or Madison, and I couldn't live in Madison. And Grand Rapids has all this activity, and we can afford a house. And so I first touched the lake in junior high school and was fearsome, rubbing on the maple for like 3 weeks or something to make a dent in it. And then my first teaching job, I was leaving New York, which was in industrial arts, had a whole model shop in the back of the room. And it was sort of in the early days when they thought that industrial arts was also going to be industrial design. And so I got basically a shop for myself, and it had an old rock ball in it. And because I started turning at that moment, I got to be the very sort of with myself and developer and whatnot. And I've been turning ever since. And I just came from an 11-year stint in Indiana, Pennsylvania, where I was working to build wood turning and an art program that had a wood program. And that sort of started that I didn't build it to the size that I wanted to really make an impact. So I'm ready for my second life here and real excited. So we're turning in younger. That's why I'm here in Grand Rapids.
Same time?
My other invention that I wanted to appeal to you was the thing with like WII, where you can simulate golf and whatnot in the room. I'm convinced that wood turning is the next step. You stand there with like a T-ball thing, it's a horseshoe with your lawn, and then you watch how it goes into a piece of wood and you do.
And every once in a while the piece flies off the screen.
Yeah, it flies off the screen and then you put it back on electronically and move it over. It's totally
It's a good idea. Yeah. All right, thanks. Any other new members in the area that want to come up? Okay, John, right? You're a local sawmill guy, right?
Yeah.
Do you wood turn too, or are you just a sawmill guy?
I've done a lot of flat work.
Why don't you step up to the microphone here, because you also have wood, right?
Right.
Go ahead, take the mic.
I also moved into the area probably about 10 years ago. I'm actually an engineer by trade for GE Aviation. I own 60 acres out east of Grand Rapids. I do have a sawmill, and a friend by the name of John Noble made it was on the concrete or some of the other companies.
Can you step a little closer to the mic?
Yeah, so he owns a land clearing business, and he supplies me with logs of wood that he can't take to the local sawmill. He is interested. He's been doing this for like 50 years. He's got like 6 boys that do help him with this. And he's normally been burning walnut and maple and cherry and stuff that he couldn't find homes for. He loves wood. He can't come to this meeting. He actually helps care for a person from his church that's disabled. But anyway, he has quite a bit of it, but he's never had a place to take to. And so I volunteered to help him with it. I'm not getting any money for it or anything, but I volunteered to help him with it. So pretty much any species of wood, burls, and he cuts out crotches of walnut. I got some with me here today. I sold a little bit of it. I think that we have to sort of symposium that we had. But I'm also very interested in turning. I haven't really to sell it. But I haven't turned since I was in high school. We've done a lot of flat work, just not very much turning, and I'm very interested in getting back into it. So,
What's your last name?
John, last name is Flute, P-F-L-U-G. I can give you my number, contact information if you're interested. But I am building a house out of my 60 acres as well as a shop and barn. I'm actually timber framing. I'm taking some timber framing classes. So trying to learn how to do that. So that's my background.
All right, you have stuff for sale in your truck, right? I think he has stuff for sale in his truck. Any other new members?
Not a member yet, but I'd like to be.
Are new people here today? Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about yourself then.
I'm from Kalamazoo. I came over with George Armstrong.
We're sorry.
He's a great guy. But I recently retired from Pfizer Pharmaceuticals and started turning about a year and a half ago. Somebody said, that's a bad mistake, you're going to need this money.
Yeah, I wish I would have done before I retired.
I'm primarily interested in segmented turning. I took Ron's summer class last year. I learned a lot. A couple other guys that I talked to were there. I made a couple of segmented pieces over there. And just want to join the club more and more.
All right.
Thank you.
Good. Thanks. Any other new members? Our membership guy is gone today, but Ken is still in his place here. If you're so compelled to join, you can talk to him. Our membership dues are $25 a year. Ken would be happy to get you on that. If you want to attend a couple meetings and think about it, we're fine with that too. So we're not forcing anybody to pull out the wallet on their first visit here. So. Did you want to talk a recap on the Ron's retreat, the hands-on retreat? Then we move the leg back down.
Yeah, exactly. Get him a step stool. Well, I hope you all had fun, those of you who attended the retreat. It went pretty smooth. We got off to a rough start with the electric early on. Had a couple of shorts and a lathe, and got that straightened out, and everything went well from there. We had 52 attendees again this year. It was about the same as last year. We had many more lathes. I had 25 lathes there. One of those lathes was the short, so we're down to 24 lathes. It worked out well. I hope you all enjoyed it. I have picked a date already for next year. It will be September 14th. I moved it because of the amount of people who couldn't get there due to conflicts. So too much goes on between Memorial Day and Labor Day. I have already hired one professional. You guys will be the first to know that it's Carmen De La Paz. She's flying in from Hollywood. She is on DIY. You may not be familiar with her. She's up for an Emmy this year. She's sponsored by 3M and Technicool. They're paying her way there. All she's asking for is a donation. She's a little Puerto Rican woman, and she is a ball of fire. The people that came to this year's retreat, the 52 of you, get the first chance to sign up. After that, I'll open it up to the public, the same as I did this year. I'm going to have a cutoff date of when that goes public, okay? We're setting up also a Facebook page. The AAW is waiting to hear from me. I'll probably get a write-up again in the journal. I'm going to hire a second professional, and I think keeping it around 50. We rented a tent this year. I'll rent a bigger tent next year. The problem is the electric and having enough space and being safe. Any comments or questions on the retreat?
It was very educational, and it was a great time.
Yeah, here.
He was very educational. He had a great time. Glenn didn't attend the year before, did he? No. So this was his first. I've gotten 2 letters and cards now from people who attended, especially the people from South Dakota and the gentleman from upstate New York. They were thrilled. They just absolutely loved it. There was a lot of sales. All of the dyed plywood was sold off. Carter had a huge show. It was the largest discount they've ever offered. I mean, you got 25% off. That was huge. They are huge supporters. Johannes was thrilled. He's asked to come back next year. I just don't think I can afford him again. His travel expenses were the biggest part of the charge. Hopefully, everybody that turned ahead or tried to turn ahead had fun. It was one of the largest challenges I've had. I've got 2 hats up here that I did. There's a hat over here on the table that somebody left. It's a completed hat. They had to glue it a little bit. It's worth taking. Okay. Also on the table with the hat are some other items that were left behind. It's kind of lost and found. If that's your stuff, please take it. Okay.
Or in 2 weeks it shows up in the raffle.
Yeah, exactly. Next meeting will be part of the raffle. Any other comments or questions? I've got guys that have already made hotel reservations, okay? There's a few guys that know that I'm doing it in September. I'm going to take a little more time in doing this year. I didn't send out the announcement until January. I will send it out earlier this year. And the deadline is probably going to be March 1 for the 50 that attended. After that, I think it'll go public. There may be a discount for signing up before March 1, and it may be more after March 1. Ken?
Thanks for doing it.
Oh, thank you, buddy. This has been a great experience for me and been a lot of fun. For the first time ever, a turning of the week on Wood Turns Unlimited was the retreat photo of the 50 of us. That's not happened before. Their comments on there and what this does for the turning world, it's really surprising what they had to say. Yeah, Ken.
How come you cut us out of the photo?
I don't know, but they're, not only you guys, even worse, I cut my wife out of it. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, there's a price to pay for some of this. I hope you all had fun. I enjoyed it. It wasn't as much pressure this year. We probably will hire roach coaches next year. You know, my wife and I fed all 52 of you. It's a big project. It seriously is. So I'm looking at a couple of roach coaches, food trucks to feed, and it takes some of the burden and the cost off of me. At $75, I think this is a great value. I guess that's all I've got for the retreat. Yes, George.
One of the things that's next, this year, people did not know all the communication how to deal with some of that stuff, even though they've been turning for a while. And a lot of it is just getting started with a rough piece and getting it, getting started, getting it round and whatever. And what I was wondering is do we want to have something here at one of our meetings on that, or maybe something off to the side on doing that?
No, you're right, George. There were a lot of newbies there. Half of them. Usually I do the average number of years turning. It's always less than 2, okay? And many of them don't know the tool or the right tool to use. Thursday night's going to be just make shavings. We're going to take a fire up 24 lathes. We'll have all our demonstrators there, and you use nothing but a bowl gouge and make shavings. Learning how to use a bowl gouge. I taught that class Wednesday before the retreat to a couple of guys, and we took a 10 or 12 inch piece and we got it down to the size of a toothpick, okay? Yeah, it is necessary. We're gonna do shavings and sharpening Thursday night, after 4 o'clock.
What I get at is, do we want to do something right here?
I would like to do something right here. And that's something I've been
Yeah,
trying
we
to
can.
get somebody to do a basic bowl, and then get all our lays out where we can actually have a hands-on for anybody who wants to stay and learn basic bowl gouge and how to use a bowl gouge properly, not like a scraper.
How many of you have been turning less than a year? Less than 3 years? Less than 5? We could do a shavings here. I think it would be excellent. If you learn the bowl gouge, you kind of learn the basics of cutting, which will then apply to other tools. Where's Tom's name? Tom is great with tools. He's turned his whole life. We could get 3 or 4 mentors in here, fire up 6 lathes, and do nothing but make shavings. Learn the basic cuts of a bowl gouge. You know, somebody just mentioned that they were getting all kinds of catches. You know, it could be the grind, and it could be your approach to the piece of wood, or both. And if the grind is wrong, there may not be a way to approach a piece of wood correctly. But you're right, George. Thursday night is nothing but making shavings.
That's one thing that I learned, is how to approach the wood. And
Yeah.
it's just cut down on catches so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, that and the grind. Johanna sold a lot of his grinding setup, and I think everybody that used his tools enjoyed them. It's a fingernail grind. He grinds it back further than everybody else, and everybody loved the grind.
Of course, to keep that grind, you have to buy his jig.
No, you don't. Wrong, sorry. Don't want to disappoint you all for watching, but you can do it other ways.
Now you tell us.
Yeah. Other questions or comments? The AAW did send me some magazines to give away at the retreat. There's a bunch left. Those are free to take.
One thing, Ron, I just want to throw out there, is, you know, this is my second year of coming up, and I'll tell you, I think I was the most challenged and walked away with the most of anything I've done so far, including some of the national conventions that I've attended, to have taken away from your event. If anybody is ever on the fence thinking whether or not they want to try it, whether or not they're ready for that point, jump into it, man. You're going to walk away with so much more than you would just attending a symposium of some sort.
I've been to the last 6 symposiums, and you can attend the symposium here by watching the TV. That's all you get at a symposium for $1,500 for 3 days. You don't put a tool in your hand, unless it's in the vendor area. Here, you got a tool in your hand all the time. And that, to me, that's a huge benefit of it. And you got mentors walking around, even helping the instructor. So you get more hands-on and more personal attention. And the price probably will go up, okay? Sorry, but I need to make a little money here somewhere. I'm donating $200 this year to the club for the use of the lathes and the help. I mean, some of you guys that attended also helped me. John brought his trailer. We filled the trailer. We loaded it out of here in 20 minutes to take it out there. Huge help. He brought the trailer out. We loaded it 3 weeks ago and brought it back in this morning. I appreciate all the help. I really do, because this is not something you can do by yourself. Thanks.
Thanks, Ron. So I think I'm going to work on that for October, is basic bowl turning, and we'll have like probably just a brief demonstration on using a bowl gouge, and then we'll jump right into opening up all the lathes and get a mentor at each lathe, and let everybody who wants to sharpen up their bowl turning techniques to get in line, and we'll work with everybody to do that. Yes, Ken?
I suggest you have them sign up ahead of time so that in case you run out of lathes, you don't have, you might want to run it two months in a row.
We might do that, yeah, because there seems to be a huge call for that. I saw that after last year going to the retreat. All the people that struggled with that and wanted more training on that, so, or more training on using a bowl gouge, so.
How about we have a show of hands, how many people would be interested in that?
Sure, how many people would be interested in basic bowl, like the whole room? But
But as far as teaching the Instant cuts, we don't have to take them to finished
Rest my
products,
case,
so we can.
Thanks. Okay, well, I'm working on that then for October. So we'll work on that, and maybe we'll do it October and November. We'll do it 2 months in a row. And, you know, it gives me through. Yes, Tom?
The other thing that I saw out at the retreat was is that a lot of the new people don't know how to sharpen. They have no clue of how to sharpen their gouges.
Very intimidating.
Yeah.
And so that could be a topic too.
One thing I would say right now, we have a sharpener here. We have a grinder here on a pedestal. And everybody's welcome to bring in their tools every meeting, and we will get you with somebody to sit down and sharpen your tools.
That can be an ongoing thing.
That should be every month. Every month, if you don't have a grinder, you should be bringing all your tools down here and let us sharpen them. Just can.
The other thing is there's multiple ways of sharpening a tool to get a desired result. And you know, if you've got somebody that knows what they're doing with regard to that, I've been turning for about 10 years, but I've always, when I was up there and I did this thing with Johannes, I learned a new way of getting to a different place with regard to sharpening, which is a huge help. And, you might want to think about that from a perspective of, understand that it's not just one way, there's multiple ways to accomplish the same thing. Sharpen what you need.
Yeah, and we'll all here show you the way we do it. This is how I sharpen my spindle guide. I don't know if that's what you want to do, but that's how I do it.
I think that's one thing you really have to keep in mind. Everybody has what works for them. There's no, well, I won't say there's no wrong way of doing it. Yes, there is. But there's many different ways to do it correctly.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of finding out what's going to work best for you. And
Well, how are you gonna know unless you know?
well, that's it. That's it.
Next month we have our shallow blow challenge. Which was a demo that
Jeff,
I don't know what's his name did.
Jeff did last week.
Jeff did it last month's meeting, shallow blow turning, and that was the challenge. And that is due next month. So if you are working on your shallow blow, you have 1 month yet to get it finished up. I don't think there's any more blanks around, are there?
Oh, that's what I was.
I knew you were going to ask that.
Yeah,
Are there any blanks? I mean, I've got
Wait,
two
what
over
size
there.
were the blanks?
Basically, any 5/4 stock, approximately 8 inches square or under. Start with that.
Yeah,
Can we glue up stock to get to that?
sure.
Why not?
However you get to it. We don't care how you get to it. And then we are going to have everybody who brings a piece in is going to be going to a raffle for half of the prize money, correct? That's what we decided.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yes.
I know we talked a lot of different things. I don't know what.
I'm announcing that
Okay,
now,
there you
so
go.
it's on
There you
tape
go.
for prosperity, so we can't change it.
Sure.
So yeah, so everybody who brings in a piece, we want you to bring, even if, I mean, the last turning we had, I brought my piece in half done. I didn't have a chance to finish it. Bring in what you have, show us what you've done. You know, sometimes just seeing a partial stage of something is interesting to see how you're getting there.
We're just cutting it out on my bandsaw would qualify.
Sure. Cut it out, bring it in, because you're going to be, I mean,
That would be great.
But I don't remember where it is right now.
if we have $100 prize money, $50 is going to go to a raffle, because just everybody who brings in a piece, they're going to get a ticket, and they'll be all in for $50. And then we will also have a first place.
We'll have $50 cash to work with and probably a couple of the craft supply gift cards.
Okay. So we'll have cash money, and it'll be cash money, so everybody who just brings in a piece, it doesn't have to be great, you'll be eligible to win some money. So don't be intimidated to bring in something that's like, well, there's no way I'm going to win, you know, first prize or second prize. But you will be in the money, you'll be eligible to win some money. So bring in your stuff. Maker's Fair, to the money.
Okay. I've had a couple different things. I don't know if you're on your list or not.
Okay, you are on my list for Maker's Fair, so you can do them both now.
Okay, first off, for those who don't know, I'm your treasurer. I want to apologize right up front. There's been the last couple of newsletters going out letting treasury reports. And basically it's because our balance has been up and down and all over the place. I couldn't give you an accurate number with the move and everything like that. So I just want to kind of bring you up to date where we are, where we stand. Right now we're sitting at roughly $3,500 in our account. It's, like I said, been all over the place as far as the move goes. So far, we have spent just under $2,000 on getting everything set up with the move, with the new AV stuff, electronics and whatnot. There's going to be a little bit more to spend on that yet. So still, right now we're borrowing cameras. And
We have to buy cameras yet, these are mine.
Right.
So we still got to buy 2 cameras and a DVD recorder. So we got about $1,000.
So we're looking a little bit more yet. But we're still in good shape. And also, I have totally restocked the supplies So those of you who are looking for glue, it's there. The helmets did not come in. I expect to see them on my front porch when I get home today. So it didn't quite make it. If any of those really want a new face shield before next meeting, contact me. We'll make arrangements. The price of them are going to go up a little bit. We're using the UVEX full face shields, and we'll be selling them for $30. Normally they're about $55, $60 to purchase them outright. And that's what we're trying to do with the supplies, is use some of the volume buying discounts that we can get and make it available to you guys for what we're spending on, basically. Something else I have found that we've been asking for, and it's been quite a search, is replacement shields for them. So I have 2 different styles. I don't know how many people want to spend $17 on when you can buy a whole new shield for $30, but there's a coated face shield replacement that is supposed to be anti-scratch coating on it. That will be selling for $17. And I have also just located some of the original replacement shields that come in the helmets, and those will be available for $8. So the replacement shields are here. Helmets are not. Sorry. I guess. The silent auction last month. Thank you very much for anybody who purchased something and or donated something. We brought in just under $500. So that was a big boost to a lot of the outgoing what we spent with the move and everything. So I guess that's all I have for the financial part of it. And if there's any questions, feel free or come see me. It's always open books. I do apologize for not having things up front for the last couple months, but anybody has any questions, just get with me. Maker's Fair. How many people were involved in Maker's Fair last year? This is at the Grand Rapids Public Museum, and it's kind of open to anybody who's producing something. There were a lot of electronics here last year, a lot of robotics, a whole bunch of different things. So our group was approached and asked if we wanted to participate, so we got involved. And it was really kind of a neat experience for those of us that were involved. We were able to bring stuff down to sell. They set us up with some tables, some space, and we also brought one of our mini lathes down. So we kind of had demos running the whole time that we were there. And a lot of comments we heard about that was, you go to the arts and craft fairs, you see the product, but no one ever sees what goes into the product. And we were able to have that going, along with some of our members who were running the big lathe in the exhibit of the museum for the weekend. So we have been asked again if we want to participate. I know we briefly touched on it last meeting, but right now it's crunch time. I need to know who's involved, who wants to get involved. And basically we would be set up to sell some more merchandise. I do not know how much space we will have. That's kind of in negotiation right now. Last year, I think we had roughly 70 square feet. I figured it out quick. So probably about half the room of what we have at Festival. And it'll be kind of like that. We'll probably do the whole thing like we did at Festival the last few years. What I would need to go forward with this is at least 5 to 10 people to commit to have stuff down there. And if we want to bring a lathe, get something set up to do demos while we're down there like we did last year, I need somebody to step forward and take that on. I can handle the part of, as far as getting our table set, bringing the stuff that I have in storage for Festival, getting the display set up, stuff like that. But the rest of it, I need somebody to kind of take them upon themselves to make the arrangements to get the lathe, pick it up, get it down there, and kind of we'll work on the scheduling part of it. Dates is going to be August 20 and 21. We'll be setting up the night before. Saturday's hours will be 9 to 5. Sunday's hours will be 12 to 5. There is a question. Unlike Festival, we handle our own finances. So I'm going to be trying to work out being able to take credit cards. So anybody who wants to sell something The guild is putting up the money to purchase the space to sell. I think it's going to cost us about $100, and that's just to come out of the guild treasury. So, as part of being a member, you're welcome to participate. What we might have to do, and I'll know more in the next couple of weeks, is if we're taking credit cards, we'll have to probably pass on the percentage that the credit card company takes. So I think it's going to be under 5%. So, maybe we'll just say if, you're selling something, 5% donation back to the guild will cover it and go with that. So, show of hands, anybody wants to get involved? So, probably.
I would like to, the 20th and 21st, I could help set up Friday night.
Okay, well, that would be a great help right there. So, when we take a break, I'm going to be back here. Bear with me, I'm kind of busy today. I'll be helping out with membership, taking that stuff, and also raffle tickets and stuff we'll be selling. Maybe I can grab somebody to sell those for me. But we can sit down, we can talk about it. I have a sign-up sheet, and if we can get enough people involved, I'll get the papers registered either this afternoon or Monday. So we're in. So, any questions right now? All right, come look me up.
I think you got everything. During our break, John, are you going to be selling supplies? Are you doing supplies? Okay, so John will be doing supplies. It would be helpful to have somebody collecting money for raffle tickets so Ken can break away and do this. You got somebody? Okay, we've got that covered then. Let's see, our library. David, you want to tell us about our library?
It's in bad shape.
It's in bad shape. If you've got, everybody needs to go home and not just check with your spouse to see if there's something there. Because I know if I had brought home a DVD and left it sitting around, my wife would take that and she'd put it where it belongs, in the case with all the other movies.
Right.
And I would never see it again.
When I took over half of what was on our list was not in our library anymore.
Okay.
So I'm wanting to go through and actually make a comprehensive list of what we actually have, not what we had.
Okay. And is our library set up today? Where are you at with it?
I've got it set up on the table straight back.
Okay. So during the break we have a library of materials, books, and DVDs that all of our members are welcome to check out, sign out, take home. We ask that you be a member to do that.
And please print your name.
And print your name so Dave can read it. And asking everybody, go home and check one more time. And ask your spouse, is there possibly a DVD? Where would you put these at if I left it laying around? And see if you have a Guild DVD or book laying around that you check out.
Some more stuff donated to us, but I haven't put them in yet because I want to actually get a list of what we have, not what used to be there.
Okay. All right. Also on break we will have we have a raffle over here of these supplies to buy a ticket and put it in the bag of what you want to try and get. I think it's $1 for a raffle ticket. And there's tools and wood and all kinds of stuff there that you can raffle. Our supplies over here, a lot of these supplies for the newer people who have not been there, this stuff is half the price of going to Woodcraft and buying it. So you can get glue, you can get epoxy. I know we have sanding products. Well, we didn't have some like one kind. Anyways, that table's on the other side of this planer, this huge planer here. And John will be running that table. So we have things, and Ken's got one more thing.
One thing with the supplies, if there's stuff out there that you're constantly using and you don't see it, let us know. We can look into it.
Okay, break. Let's see, I'll start with, I just have 3 things that I brought in. I brought in the hat that I made at Ron's retreat. So that was a neat little class. I haven't finished it yet, but every time I have an extra 10 minutes, I sand it a little more. I'm getting closer.
Let's see how it fits you. It's smaller.
Pardon me?
Let's see how it fits you.
Yes, I know. It's kind of small, but I'm going to figure out, I got a little cowboy guy who plays guitar, a little puppet thing. I think I'm going to stick it on his head when I get all done here. I brought in a piece of flaming box otter. That was the color of the tree when I cut it open. So I was cutting it with a chainsaw, and all of a sudden all this red came out like it was bleeding. I couldn't believe it. And I made a, I don't know what you call it, emerging vessel is what I'm calling it. And I think that's going to be part of the art beneath the bark thing that I was going to do with the drawing there. So So those are my pieces. Let's see, who's got this piece? Chris.
So I missed last month. This was the big leaf maple, and I hooked it up with some Jara wood and did an inside-out turning. So it's all, hollow through the center. It was my first one doing it. I left the base square. It's just a little candlestick holder. Fun to do.
This Ron?
Yeah.
Again, this was part of the Johannes class. I didn't finish these in the class. I was a little distracted with something. I got 2 of them 90% finished and finished them off last week. They didn't distort the way I wanted them to. They were put in a bag after the retreat with a bunch of shavings, and I lost too much of the moisture. You can pass that around. Then I made a little stand with some offset. And that's something, if somebody here really is proficient at this, I'd love to be taught how to do this. Barbara Dill does a job on these till it's just incredible.
Is that distraction when that bee flew up your kilt?
Yes. This is a piece of wood that my wife and I had the pleasure of going to Hawaii about 18 months ago. And we spent 15 days there. I think I spent 12 of those days looking for wood. We traveled with a young lady that I went to high school with, and she'd been to Hawaii many, many times, and she had never seen some of these places in Hawaii. This is koa burl. I bought 2 large pieces of koa. This weighed 42 pounds when I started. I bought it late in the trip on Maui, and I started looking at shipping costs. Man, it was almost as much as the burl. So we packed up all our clothes, emptied 2 suitcases into a bunch of boxes, and took them to the post office and shipped those home for about $20. And then this went in the suitcases. It was just under the 50-pound limit. The whale on the bottom is the plywood, the dyed plywood the guys from South Dakota brought to the retreat. It turns well. The hook, which is a Hawaiian symbol, that also is carved out of that. It is a lidded jar, so the lid does come off. Huge response on the internet from this. Huge response on the World of Wood Turners and Wood Turners Unlimited. So this will be part of the Art Beneath the Bark. Those of you who are taking part in Art Beneath the Bark should have gotten an email from me last week. It'll have your contract in there and your inventory list. Also has the dates and times of delivery and pickup. Has the dates for the opening reception, which is first Friday. I'd like to see a bunch of you club members there to support this. It is one of the largest shows, largest sales the gallery has all year. It brings in a lot of money to the gallery, which means that money goes to you. It's a 35% commission, so I look forward to some of you showing up there and spending some time. It's 201 Washington Street, 2nd block, Grand Haven.
Okay, we have the segmented pieces.
Excuse me. These are mine.
Step in front of it.
These are mine. I went to Ron's retreat. We didn't have any segmented turning there, but I've been trying to do this on my own. Tremendous amount of fun. Really enjoy this. I did have to learn the basic cuts with regular bolt turning, which really helps. To turn something like this takes like an hour, but it takes 40 hours to put it together. This is my latest piece. I just finished this May 1st. Unfortunately, I was in Arizona babysitting my daughter's dog while they were on vacation for a month. So I really missed being away from my lathe. So this is about my 7th or 8th bowl I've made, so I think I made a lot of progress in a short time.
What's the finish on that?
White Pond Poly.
30 coats.
Okay, I think that's everything, unless I missed something, somebody else might want to bring up before we take a break? Yes, George. Oh yeah, you wanted to talk, come on up here, George, talk about your project you want.
Oh, yeah.
I turned my sheet over, I realized there were things on the backside.
At Rod's retreat, there were several.
Microphone.
In the mic, come on.
There were several people.
Go on, sir.
There were several people that were interested in the rose engine, which is, in case any of you don't know, is an ornamental lathe. And we look at building them. These are homemade pieces. You can buy them. You can, if you want to, you can spend north of 50 grand for them if you want to. But we're looking at someplace in the neighborhood of 200 to 300. And these will be, like I said, homemade. If we build them in a group, it'll probably work better. Everybody makes some pieces that they can make. They're basically going to be made out of either plywood or MDF. And we'll look at the design a little bit. I have one that's kind of a part out of my truck across the road. We can go take a look at it and go from there. So anybody that's interested, show up.
When and where?
Is that during the break then, you want to talk to people?
We can do it during the break, or we can do it afterwards, whatever you want to do.
Let's do it after, so we're not.
So let's do it afterwards, okay?
Okay.
After the meeting, we'll bring it up again. I'll try to remember that. The meet with you in the parking lot if they're interested in the rose engine. Yes,
I just have the one announcement I want to talk a little bit about before.
come on up, yeah.
Yeah, excuse me, 1 minute. Y'all, this is my wife, Lana. She's the one that to do this retreat. She thought I was crazy 2 years ago, so.
Still crazy.
Yeah.
Yes,
But we both enjoyed it.
with lots of help.
Yeah.
Did a great job on it. Thank you.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
very busy. Have fun, guys.
Thanks.
Thank
Right.
you.
So I think Tom McDonald did me a favor of talking the last couple of meetings again about the wood availability that I've got. Like I say, John does this every day, and I'd like to find some homes for some of this wood. 11 of you provided cards to Tom of wood that you were interested in. And by the way, I do have some of this. And he's got quite a supply of it. He finds it all the time. He just wasn't aware he was burning it. He wasn't aware that it actually had that kind of color in it. Actually, Jim Jakosh talked to him about it, let him know. He brought up a big log this last week's meeting that Jim took a cut out of it. So on the break, I both had wood out in my truck, and for those of you who are interested, if you could come by and let me know what you're interested in, so that I can let him know what he might want to supply to you. Again, I'm not taking any money for this. I'm just doing it to help him out for various reasons. I think he doesn't even know what to sell it for. So, like I said, if you have an interest, you can come up with a break. You can look at what I both already brought as samples, and you can let me know what you're looking for. I'll try and let him know and start providing the supply.
Thanks, John. Okay, we're going to take a break. Coffee's out in the hall.